and the good hold, or the kicker cannot do his job.
And then Kofer missed also from the 49, so he's 1 for 3. Montana over the middle to Craig, protecting the ball and out to the 17 as he takes a lick from Carl Zander. And Montana not wasting any time. No huddle.
So important. And this Cincinnati defense, boy, I tell you, they have done a great job without their best player. We've said it again and again, but they keep coming up with the big series, the big plays.
Nice catch underneath the tight end, John Frank. You know, they're 9-1 with Frank in the lineup this year, that tight end. Clock is running 2:40, 2:39. You see it. That's the game clock. Fourth quarter. Cincinnati leading by a field goal. First down play, Montana. And out of bounds goes Jerry Rice with another catch. Only one touchdown scored on an offensive drive. It's been field goals and a kickoff return for a touchdown. Roger Craig out to the 35-yard line on Miami of Florida. On first down, Montana to Rice again, and he's out of bounds at the Cincinnati 47. And that should put him right at the 200-yard mark today. Mike Kofer may get another chance yet. But the 49ers, with plenty of time, 1 minute 49 seconds to go, they're thinking touchdown. 6 defensive backs for the Bengals. Rice to the left. Montana over the middle to Craig. And Barker gets him down, but not until Craig has another San Francisco.
Heart and head during this game.
No one has ever gone from a 4-win season to a Super Bowl victory, that's for certain. But Montana would like to keep it that way. Over the middle with a flag down, and it's a completion to Craig, and I believe Craig was held.
We might have a tripping call in there.
Barney Bussey on the play.
No, they're saying.
Other way around, they're saying now.
Wow.
Ineligible man downfield, San Francisco. You don't see that call often, but Montana scrambling, and one of his linemen released too soon, or had drifted away into the secondary of Cincinnati. There is the critical statistic as San Francisco battles the clock as well. 1:15 to go.
Ineligible downfield. Number 51 offense. Still second down.
Oh my, Randy Cross in his retirement game is ticketed for another 5, and it comes back to the 45-yard line. Oh, that's a big one. I take that back. That's a big penalty all the way to the 45, where it'll be second down and 20. Montana to Rice. He's in the clear. And Ray Horton fought through a block. There was a blocker on him. Taylor downfield and made a touchdown-saving tackle. What a day for Rice.
It did not look like anyone would be able to stop Rice, but Horton made a brilliant play to get him down.
11 catches, 216 yards. Is there another one? This one's to Craig, and he's to the 10-yard line. And close to another first down, and San Francisco will spend its second timeout. Set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana, touchdown, John Taylor.
Taylor cutting to the inside. I think all the eyes were on Jerry Rice, but not Joe Montana's. He had Taylor all the way into the end zone for a touchdown.
Taylor from Delaware State makes his move away from Ray Horton, and with a concentration on Jerry Rice, who has set a Super Bowl record. And Sam Weich's team could not make the big play. Now they have just 34 seconds to generate something special. And while Taylor is congratulated, should also be in that picture is Jerry Rice, who has caught 12 passes for 222 yards to shatter both reception and yardage records in Super Bowl history. There's the man, Rice. He set the table, and Taylor hit the home run.
What is up, guys? Hopefully I didn't terrorize any Cincinnati Bengals fans out there with that classic display by Joe Montana and the San Francisco 49ers. And that video I chose because it illustrates virtually every concept in the West Coast offense, or every facet of the West Coast offense in one drive. It's a great sequence of offense there. And the thing that always strikes out about that clip is a couple of things. One, just how calm and how methodical the Niners were. There wasn't no frantic, no huddling, no panic, no chaos. Everything was just cool, systematic precision. And that comes from the quarterback. And also, the talent. My gosh, was that team talented. Roger Craig, Rice, Taylor, Jones, the offensive line, Rathman, and that's a feature that can, be viewed as a plus and a minus when it comes to the West Coast, is that it's an offense that requires, to really get the most out of it, a great deal of talent from the skill positions. You need a quarterback that can read it and throw it. You need backs that can run, catch, and run routes. At least a halfback. If you have the halfback and the fullback as both dual purpose guys, you're really cooking. You're really at an advantage. You don't ever have to go 4 wide, 3 or 4 wide, if you have a back and a fullback that can catch and run routes and get open. Tight end who can create mismatches in space. But that is by far my favorite type of pro style offense to run. The old school West Coast. I've been running the West Coast offense, or some variety of it, in Madden for a very long time. The West Coast offense actually can be traced all the way back to Don Coryell, although his quote-unquote West Coast offense, as some people called it before calling Bill Walsh's offense the West Coast offense, was much more of a vertical attack, with John Jefferson, Fouts, Winslow, and Chuck Muncie in the power running game. The playbooks that emulate the Air Coryell type of passing attack is the Brian Billick and the Vermeil. Both those guys have a very Don Coryell flavor to their passing attacks and running schemes. But this is the West Coast. The Bill Walsh West Coast, and what differentiates it from the vertical offense or the run and shoot, the Air Coryell, which, all those offenses are pretty much cousins of each other as far as what they're based off of, is that it's more of a ball control, precision, timing passing game, where it was really the first passing offense to use the pass as an extension of the ground game, extended handoffs. We hear that phrase so much now. The Bill Walsh offense was the first offense to really, do that, as far as getting the ball quick to receivers in space and letting them run after the catch. Throw the ball 3 to 5 yards in the air, and if you have an elite athlete out there, he makes a guy miss, and it's a 15, 20 plus yard game. That's the basic idea. And EA actually did a very good job with these classic playbooks. You have all the classic West Coast formations. Pro set labeled red. You have the twins, close, and slot. And you can do your formation packages to put your tight ends in the slots or out wide. Go jumbo sets. Split your tight end or put him in the slot in some formations. You can really do a lot of damage as far as creating mismatches, putting halfback in the slot there. And that's what the West Coast offense is all about. It's getting those guys out in space. Again, tight end wide out here. You have the far formation. These are the substitution packages here. line your tight end up in the backfield if you wish. The close formation. Split your halfback out wide, so if you have that dual threat halfback, a guy who'd be perfect for this is Darren McFadden, a guy who can run routes and catch the ball. Darren Sproles. A back like that would be absolutely ideal. I'm starting Joe McKnight in OS Vet Season 2 for exactly that reason. He can get open, he can make plays in space, he can catch the ball in traffic. These are the sets that you can find throughout the playbook. And the best way to learn, I really like this wide receiver wing. Then the best way to learn it in the single back stuff, you have solo, east, west, deuce, double wing, trips, and spread. And the best way to learn this playbook is to just take it by sequence, take it by formation group, play around in practice mode or in play now games versus the computer, and just play exclusively out of the pro set formation until you master it. And then move on to the far until you master that, and then the near until you master that set. And then the single back sets. That's really the best way to know which plays and which formation groups are in what set, so you can minimize the time taken and spent just fooling around and wasting time looking for your play. You'll be a lot more efficient in your play calling. And I'm going to do a multi-part series. I'm going to go over some basic pass concepts and how to throw some certain very key routes that you will be wanting to use in this offense to best put your playmakers in space and to best utilize a playbook as a whole. I'll probably have the first part of that done shortly after this, so hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll talk to you all later. Take care. Peace.